Okay, so this game I decided to go with the Baron. I don't really typically enjoy playing some of the more powerful leaders, and I did kind of want to play Ariana. If I could, I'd pick a Kaz, but he's not available. But I don't like to play some of the more powerful leaders. I was considering Ariana, but the problem is if I pick Ariana, I'm playing against a Baron and a Tessia. Um, Ariana is not going to be able to make that happen. Just the way it works in practice. So, Baron, even though he's powerful, I find him a lot more fun than Tessia. Where Tessia, it's just get a bunch of points with your starting deck and then end the game on like round 6 or 7. And you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to get any good cards. You don't have to really do any interesting or inventive plays because your leader gives you so many points. The Baron I do find fun. There's some interesting aspects to the hidden Masterstroke factions, although you usually go from in guild. And intrigue cards are one of the more fun parts of the game, and I like having lots of them. So we definitely want Fremen Guild here because Sayadina's in the row. If there was a firm grip, I would change my my plays a little bit, but that's not the world we live in. We got a skirmish. Most Barons would probably be looking to go Hardy Warriors here. I don't really like burning resources for no economic advantage, so I tend not to like this type of thing. We'll see what happens, right? Like, Tessia goes to Still Suits. That means she probably has her ring and she's going to switch her influence around, I would assume. It's a little bit of a weird play, actually. Ariana got picked because she wants to get Sayadina. This is a very Ariana row. The good news is because Still Suits went, I get to go smuggling. That provides me a Solari I can use for my signet ring next round. We do like the techs here, particularly the training drones and the troop transports. I don't think we're going to... Troop transports is really good if we can get interstellar access. It seems like Ariana's going to get there first. Like, there's no point in us going Hardy Warriors this round if Ariana just first action folds bases next round. I would say. Does Helena use her ring? No. So she probably doesn't have ring. I don't think it's worth revealing early for Sayadina. Yeah, that gives it to Ariana most likely, but whatever. In fact, Ariana may early reveal for it anyway. If we were playing like Immortality or something, I would happily play Ariana here, but I just think in Ix she's too weak, especially when you know you're going to be up against a Baron or a Tessia. Because those leaders get picked every time they're available, basically. It's very frustrating. Yeah, so she does have the ring. Probably we're going to end up getting Duncan or Test of Humanity or Fremen Camp. I think this Sayadina is going to get taken before we can take it. Having 6 Persuasion, like going to Tech Negotiation, is an interesting idea because that gets us both Sayadina and Test of Humanity. But again, Sayadina is not going to be available, so we probably shouldn't play it around 6. Hardy Warriors gets taken, so that's interesting. We could Diplomacy to Wealth and then get a sword, like get our Swordmaster next round if Ariana goes full space, which she probably will. So I think this is the call. And Wealth is good because, again, our Signet Ring requires us to have Solari. So even if we don't get our Swordmaster, it's still a relatively good situation for us. Now, I'd rather have Fremen Camp than Duncan Idaho. Duncan's just a really kind of weird card, and having Persuasion on the Fremen Camp ends up just being better most of the time. Plus, its ability to go into combat means that we have another non-hardy warrior's way of activating Master Stroke. Helena tech negotiates. Interesting. Okay, she's 3 cards in hand. I don't know what she's going to end up getting. Seems like kind of just a filler action. Although when you're tied at 6-6 like that, I probably wouldn't be playing my daggers. So Ariana doesn't reveal early, so the Sayadina goes to Chessia, which is pretty annoying. So it does turn out that there was a big benefit to having 6 persuasion that we didn't know about. That's okay. I think Test of Humanity is worse than Fremenkamp. It's not clear-cut, but we're going to be very much ahead in the next combat because these guys are all scrambling over this one. So, Ariana prefers the Test of Humanity. Truthsayer is a good card, but I think the Fremenkamp is a better Baron card. Especially given that Gurney's out here, we want to have more persuasion in our deck. Truthsayer. Okay. Interesting. I would definitely like that card, but I don't think I'll get it. Does make some healthy competition here between these 3 cards. Full-scale Assault's not going anytime soon, most likely, but 3-way tie for water. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it makes me feel pretty good about the decision to stay out of that. Okay, so do you get your Interstellar, or do you just try to block me on smuggling? I don't think you would want to block me on smuggling if you're Ariana. Oh, he actually doesn't... Oh, damn it. Yeah, he doesn't have the access, so he has to. Okay, well, that's interesting. So... Is now the time to Hardy Warriors then? We could always dagger to tech negotiation to lock in the firm grip. The problem with that is that we don't play our signet ring. Nobody has Interstellar Monopoly. I'll get the first Swordmaster of the game. Do we double up here? I think maybe just because of the training, the troop transports. So if we did want to play our signet ring, where would we play it to? Because the problem is, if we go down to 2 Solari, then we don't actually get to 8 off of cashing out. I guess we do if we go smuggling, which is probably what we'll do first action next round. We don't need a combat space. it doesn't hurt to have an intrigue card from Carthag. If we go to Arakeen, we probably end up on the same persuasion. We have almost a 50% chance of actually gaining persuasion. Or we could just send a dagger to tech negotiation. Okay, faction access is not bad. Cool, sweet. We basically just hope that the firm grip doesn't get taken by Ariana. I think the fact that she went to a spice space means that it probably will, but let's see what happens. Damn it. Well, there's that. Also the Helena factor. We could still get Duncan. Although I think the BG Initiate might just be better, unfortunately. We'll have 2 convincings next round, so Gurney's possibly on the table. Mentat. Interesting. It's not usually how I see people play Tessia. Yeah, she was ready to do that. Well, she probably gets Duncan then. I'm going to end up being pretty water deprived at this table. Because they all got water from the last combat, and then I went Hardy Warriors. Okay, so she does take Duncan. So I guess we take an Initiate. It's a decent card. We have a green next round, so we can get our Swordmaster. Helena gets the firm grip. We have yellow and we have green, so we don't lose anything by going up twice. Besides just the tempo of it being a little bit different. Tech negotiation. Okay, I don't really understand what the point of that play was. Like, are you gonna get an Ixian Engineer? You know, it's not. Maybe she was trying to get Gurney? I really don't know what the plan was there. Helena, you don't have 6 daggers, do you? Cool. This will help us with our water situation. I don't have access to Interstellar, but they don't know that. Round 3 Swordmaster's not amazing, but when you look at how much Solari the other players have, it's a considerable advantage. They're probably not going to get theirs for quite a while. I'm guessing Helena plus another player gets theirs in round 5. Maybe somebody gets it in round 4, but it would be tough for them. Like, there's a Conspire line available. But like, even if Tessia conspires, that doesn't get her there. It's just 6. The combat's not providing any help for him. Ariana gets to draw 2 from that. That's how you want to be playing Ariana, right? Get the big spice blows, and the addiction doesn't hurt you so much. So we grab our Swordmaster. I don't think there's any way for us to get Gurney this round, unfortunately. It probably goes to Ariana. So probably Still Suits is my favorite option. I think these guys just set themselves back too far in the first combat. Now they can't contest me in the second or the third. And the third combat's the same thing as the first combat was. It's the same victory point, except it has a water on it. Still Suits is not available. So the only space I can go to is Secrets. If only we had one Persuasion. I wonder what he's thinking about doing. He's got 6 cards in hand. He's got Gurney. Maybe he's thinking about challenging me for the fight. I don't think he's thinking about going to Secrets. Maybe he's considering selective breeding to get the... Oh my god, dude. What? Well, I think we lose a deployed troop. Man, that sucks. We're gonna have to end up getting liaisons. It was the only space I could go to. What are the odds of that? Do we get a second liaison? Probably wouldn't. Maybe. We've already got our Swordmaster. Let's not pick up more green. Helena can't be in the combat unless she plays that mobilization tech. Ariana has 2 cards, so maybe I shouldn't have lost the troop. I could have discarded Diplomacy and it wouldn't have hurt me. That was just a misplay. Yeah. That was just a misplay. Although, even if I had the troop, I still wouldn't have the combat. so it ended up not mattering. Kind of don't want this in anyone else's hands. Well, I overestimated myself a little bit there. I have a uncanny ability to lose combats. Mimic Orders is out. And available to anyone who wants to tech negotiate. Besides... No, anybody, actually, can do it. We redraw our liaison. Elena takes Interstellar. Just spice, but we're kind of behind on the water game, so winning this would be pretty good. I consider this usually one of the weaker combats, but situationally this is valuable. I think action 1 is tech negotiation if we can get it. Interesting. Is she gonna highliner? Ariana gets her Swordmaster. Oh, she doesn't. Okay. She went down, actually. Who are we going up with? Guild seems good for the Solari. Fremen seems good for the water. Let's take Fremen. Invasion ships. So yeah, I don't think anybody gets their Swordmaster this round either. Helena's going very aggressive on the intrigue cards. Opulence, okay. That's the 6 that we wanted the least, actually. I wonder if Fold Space is better than Still Suits here, just teeing us up for that Guild Alliance. Scaring away the 2 people that are going to cash out their shipping tracks soon. Air King goes. We definitely want to get in the combat. Siege Tabor, for example, would be good. I hate to cost myself a 6, though. Tessia's going to get Interstellar next round. Very annoying. But you can't really keep her away from it. It's just how Tessia is. We could research station and still get the 6-coster. Interesting. What are you going to buy, Ariana? Training drones? Okay. Can't actually deploy any of that stuff, but that's fine. We could go double faction. We get to see what they reveal before we take our last action. I'm sure Helena's got something up her sleeve. 3 intrigue cards. Doesn't actually end up getting the opulence. In the shadows. Ooh. Doesn't have the persuasion for it. What are you getting? In the shadows. Okay, so you're not getting one of the 6s. No daggers either. But you clearly have a good persuasion engine. 2 liaisons and a Sayadina. 3 liaisons and a Sayadina. So she's going for Spice Must Blows. Okay, so these are both going to be available. I would hate to draw my ring. Could dispatch an envoy to Fold Space. Takes the allegiances. Go up to 8. We have another dagger. I don't know if I want to win this that bad. I guess either way we're going to get a good combat card. So Sayadina is dangerous with Reverend Mother and with Trusayer and with Test of Humanity. But full-scale assault's fun, so I want it. That's as complicated as it gets, especially since we're putting 3 troops in here. It's got 2 persuasion. Goes to an faction space. Gives me something immediate. Just a lot of benefit. Turns out that troop was probably wasted, but we don't know what Helena had. Okay, so demand respect. Yes. And we'll get an immediate resource refund on using that. Wow. Kind of lucky, but that's how the Baron is. Now for Mimic Quarters, we only need to focus on these other 2 factions. This will help us keep pace with Ariana. Good news is Tessie doesn't have any shipping track progress so far. That 3 Solari can be used for the High Council seat. For Mentat. I'm not sure which is better here. We could Mentat plus Signet Ring. That seems probably like the smartest play. Ariana's got a formidable combat engine, though. The nice thing about that Dreadnought is it's going to end up giving us water because we can just put it in this combat without actually committing to the combat. Smuggling. Okay, so he doesn't actually use his holo projectors for a benefit. He gets the troop, but he's not going to be able to deploy it. Even cashing out there doesn't give anybody Swordmaster. It puts Tessia dangerously close, but it's looking like even a level round 5 Swordmaster might be off the table for these guys. This is our only yellow access, but why do we... Well... Let's take the spice. Blackmail. Not something we want with holler projectors, but it's an option. Interesting. Hardy Warriors is only 2 troops because her garrison's empty. I wonder if she has a way to try to steal this alliance. What are you buying? Invasion ships? Disposal facility. That's interesting. I think it's a little too late for that, honestly. I think you need to get disposal facility in the first 3 rounds to make it useful. Maybe round 4 if you stretch. Maybe he just wanted the persuasion, because I mean, if he's going there to get disposal facility, that seems like a bad play. We could get another dreadnought. We have the money for it. We could get Shumurky on top of that. 5 water. Wow. I bet she's wishing that she had, I bet she's wishing that she had gotten the Sayadina. The only thing about going to Dreadnought is you do run the risk of having Helena visit secrets. These are not crazy good cards, even still. High Council. Well, I don't like that. We don't know what access Helena has either. There's a possibility if we went Mentat that we would just run out of actions. Well, not really. We have Dispatch an Envoy. Okay, well, there you go. Helena wants that alliance. Do you have, you do have a way to steal it. Okay. Well, that's fine. We have holo projectors. You know, we can go down with Fremen now and use our blackmail. I don't like seeing that in circulation. Ariana gets to 6, but her daggers don't do anything. Presumably you want Gurney here. You do have a test of humanity, so it's like a decision. I think Gurney's the better card in general. I guess Reverend Mother does provide spice on reveal, though. Exit Engineer is not what I would have done. So, I mean, even if we deploy a troop, it does allow us to get ahead of Helena. So, selective breeding maybe gets us to Gurney. Okay, so now we can't blackmail her. Unless we draw a dagger, which we have a lot of in this deck. So that's an argument for selective breeding. Damn it. Well, that's fine. We still get Gurney. So, what's the value of denying Helena a point here? I don't think it's high. I think we just take the water. I mean, I'm glad to have Gurney, but this is very sad that I didn't draw any of my 3 cards that provide daggers. Any one of them would have done it. And 2 of them had 2 persuasion on them. She takes Solari, and I think she will. That opens up the Dreadnought play again. We still have enough spice to get a tech, though. You know, honestly, this is good enough. And it leaves us with enough water for research station. We kind of want this because of Mimic Orders. Questioning the decision to get this troop transports now, because we haven't been able to ship ever again. Or interstellar ship even once. Helena gets her Swordmaster. Tessia doesn't. So I think Helena is the threat. We could dispatch an envoy to Fremen. I don't think now is the time for that. I like full-scale assault research station a lot. Or we can full-scale assault to conspire. Seems like overkill on Solari. We like this. We like the spice. It's round 6. We shouldn't spend it. We get to 5. We can get High Council instead and get much the same type of benefit. Or we could prepare. This is better. We prepare our troop transports for next round. Full-scale assault's good to reveal, so if we don't play it, it's not a big deal at all. Does she lock in Fremen? Or chase other avenues? Chases other options. If we were to go to Fremen and win the combat, we could steal the alliance back. And given that Helena is our competition, I think that's what we ought to do. The question is if we send full-scale assault there or dagger. I think full-scale assault's got a really good play effect, so we should do that. Minimic film. Dreadnought buy is still an option too. That's not enough troops for me to be scared. Ariana could put enough in to scare me though. The problem with trying to take back the Fremen Alliance is that it costs us bumps on BG Emperor. Which is probably the better overall path to winning the game. That play is disrupted if Helena has... She has 4 water, so like if I go full-scale assault to Fremen, she could just respond by going to the other Fremen space. By comparison, what's our persuasion looking like next round? Pretty good. If we go Carthag, we still have research station for next round. Although that's probably going to get taken by somebody. Do we really care that much about our card reveal this turn? I don't think we do. Interesting. Zero intrigue cards. I think, yeah, just 1 troop's enough. We can always recall an agent. Or we can use this to double Interstellar next round. Up, down, up. Yeah, it doesn't we don't really get that much benefit from it. Tech negotiation. Gets the film? Or gets Chimerky? Film, okay. Doesn't have a high council seat. So now we can urgent mission steal that alliance, and I think that's what we should do. That's not the last snooper. Tessie is not out of gas. 5 daggers. Yikes. So Hardy Warriors, maybe? We have blackmail still. But if we use... Like, we're not using it if we're chasing Fremen. We could also go for Chimerki. If we go for Chimerki, we might just get the combat cards we need that way anyway. So Ariana's got to get 4 daggers to make us use the blackmail now. Cool. Fremen. Up Emperor. Oh, I think he's DCing over that. No. Okay, I just went red for a little bit. We have to lose our Dreadnought, though, which is actually a big problem. So fine intrigue. Get the troops. Go up with Emperor. Take spice. We threaten Highliner that way. I don't know that Ariana has that much guild access. She got the X-Guild Compact, so she might have it. But she doesn't have any way to... doesn't have much time to find it if she doesn't have it. Boy, Helena loves going to wealth. Truthsayer, not her other one. We could also go to Conspire. If diplomacy... If Highliner doesn't work out, we can go to Conspire. Gurney is really good. Question is how long we want to wait to play him. The funny thing is, if we Highliner, we don't really have the resources to get anything that useful out of this. That's a weird play. Why wouldn't you just cash out? I guess we can use To the Victor to still buy the point, most likely. What's in our draw pile? Stuff we don't want. We drew all of our good cards, really. Ariana Dreadnought. Can she steal an alliance of mine? I don't think she can. She can threaten guild. But then I go to Highliner and then it's not really threatened anymore. That guild bump could be used for blackmail. If she doesn't. BG. Okay, but you're probably not going to be able to fight Tessia on that one. She's got In the Shadows. Nobody's threatening Highliner anymore. So let's go ahead and... use Gurney. What's this Spice Must Flow? That's... takes us to 7. The combat takes us up 2 more. To 9. Ariana could... Has she used her holo projectors or her training drones? She has. She's not really using that technology correctly. We have one card that doesn't provide persuasion. I'm thinking we play the Initiate here. Get also Diplomacy to select a breeding and get another point. That seems like maybe it's better. We don't have a card we want to trash, though. Who did she go down with? Emperor. Yeah, well, that alliance is locked up, so you can't have that. I still need 2 more bumps on BG to get this Mimic Orders point. I think we got this game, though. What's the disadvantage of spending this spice? No access to Highliner next round? All things being equal, we won't have access to Highliner next round. Hurricane. So that lets him put 3 things in. But 3 things is not going to be enough, even with 2 Dreadnoughts. Unless he's got Duncan in his hand and some other magic. But we have a full-scale assault, which actually doesn't provide any... doesn't provide any daggers. So would we rather conspire and take that alliance? I think we might. If we do that, then we don't get a Spice Must Flow, so that's the issue. We Diplomacy and do the same thing. Combat card, but a bad one. Still, it's going to make Ariana just that much more difficult to get done what she needs to get done. And I don't think she can do it. We're actually not revealing any daggers at all, which is kind of funny. We'll get our Dreadnought back next round, and it looks like there may actually be a next round. We'll have a significant force advantage. So I think we're going to win because if the game goes in the round, we'll be okay that way too. I don't know if we're allowed to use To the Victor to pay for this combat, though. If we are, I think we win. If we're not, then we'll see what happens. And 4 daggers. That ties her up. But I have 3 cards. I can go down with Bene Gesserit. Hell, I can go down with Fremen. Shouldn't, but I can. Didn't have Duncan, but she had still a pretty good card. These techs aren't going to help her with combat. She better have a dang good combat card. I don't think she can beat me here. Just get the guaranteed point. It's worth the same as an alliance, but can't be stolen. Pretty good. We're not going to get the Mimic Orders point this game, I don't think. I suppose it's possible, right? We could double visit BG next round, but it's probably not going to happen. Every single player is 1 BG bump away from a point, which is kind of funny. Invasion ships to where? Okay. That makes it make sense. But I don't see that any of these techs are going to help her. Shimurki is probably the one that she can actually afford. Yeah, that's why I said Ariana probably shouldn't be bothering to try to chase this. Maybe if she redraws the Shifting Allegiances next round, then it could happen. Shimurki. Artillery. That's a tech I would have liked to have had. What did she discard to invasion ships? The voice. No daggers, no persuasion to speak of. So, play the tiebreaker and see what Ariana's got. I think this just wins us the game. We don't even need to use the to the victor because point plus Solari, that's game. There's no way Helena can get 10 daggers, even with 3 intrigue cards. Although I have seen it. I think I've seen people get like 14 daggers from 3 intrigue cards. Alright, there you go. Baron Harkonnen is pretty broken. Yes, I definitely want to spin Solari for a moment. Looks like I can't use the card that way, so won't be getting to 11. Well, it's not immediately clear to me why it works like that. I guess the timing is you get benefits, then you spend cards. Yeah. All right. Well, Baron is pretty good, and if we look at the result here, I think it could be summed up with Baron is pretty good. I don't think you need to say anything about our deck to to do that. Sure, Full Scale Assault was great, and it was our pivotal card. Like, of our cards, Full Scale Assault was the one that made the most difference. But I mean, really, it's just the Baron being the Baron. Like, we got a billion faction persuasion. We have 3 alliances. You know, we have a ton of intrigue cards. Like, that's what made the difference. But I don't have a Baron guide up on the channel yet, so or a video, I mean. So there you go. There's how to win with Baron.